Alright, I'm going to start this one off by changing what I did in the last one from score to money. I think I'm going to have a separate, so I'm going to lock everything except for labels. And I want to replace that with money so that I can have two separate things. I can have money and score. Money. Oh, I'll put $sign. How about that? And I'll just break it apart. And I'm going to get rid of this. Either that or well, yeah, how about this? I'm going to move this over so that money is right there and score will be right next to it. Scoot it over a little bit. So here's my text boxes. And this one's going to be score. Which means, let's see. Oh, and this is now score text, and this should be money text. So that means out here, everything I was referring to as score needs to change to money. Control C. Control V. And then we got to go inside here in the coin. And instead of score, it's money. 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 So now, let's make sure that's still working. Okay, so that's my money. And I should probably move the $sign to the left of it or something. I think I will do that. Okay, so we go inside here. And I think I'm going to left align it. So if it was actually like that, we would need to move that over here. And maybe make it a tad bit bigger. 110. 110 again. Yeah, I think that's good. So now as we gather more money, it's very clear what's going on. Alright, and then next to it can be the score. But we're not going to deal with that for a while. But I just wanted to fix that before we move on. So the next thing I want to do is actually create some bad stuff, something that will harm the person. But I guess before we do that, we need a health bar. So that'll need to go inside this too. So let's go inside the info. Let's show our back. Text labels, let's see now, labels right there. Alright, I want to lock everything except for the labels, and then I want to select just this so I can arrow key it down a little bit. And then across the top, that's where I'm going to build the health bar. So I'm just going to draw a rectangle, and let's see, what if I make it 100 by 10? That's way too big. So what if we make it 50 by 5? That's closer. Yeah, I think that's workable. So what I'll do is I'm going to have to unlock and grab this, drag it out, drag this out too. Then double click, and I'm going to arrow key it over. Actually, no, I don't want to arrow key it over. I want it to stay in alignment with this registration point. I'll double click this and arrow key it over till it's more like I want it to be. Then looks like I'm going to need to add a little bit more depth here so that this stuff fits. In fact, it might take more than that, so I'm going to drag it down. Let me grab this and cut it. That's Control X. Make a new layer, and I'll call it Health. And then Control Shift V will paste it in exactly the same place as it was when I picked it up. I want the center to be this dark red, and the outline should be continue to just be black, but I want it to be maybe 2, a thickness of 2. No, that's too much. We'll do a thickness of 1. Alright, now I'm going to hide that layer so I can see these other things. Whoops. And let's see. What happened to my score? I guess I must have lost it when I sat that rectangle on top of it. That's okay, I guess I can recreate it. So I want to lock this layer. I locked that layer because when I try to select this, it was grabbing it and taking it with it, and I don't want that to happen. So now, is it out of the way of the health? Yeah, that's better. Alright, so there's my money, and my score will be right there, but I won't write anything in it yet. So here we go. We're going to make this health bar. So let's double click it so we can select the whole thing. Let's convert it to a symbol. I think I just right click and say convert to symbol. Let's make sure the registration point is on the middle left, and this will be health bar. And then we got to make sure this says health bar as well. And now let's double click it and go inside. I want to cut this outline and put it on its own layer above the other one. So this is the outline, and this is the bar. Let's lock the outline layer, and let's select the red. You can either just click on it, or you can actually click on the layer that contains it. And let's right click and say convert to symbol. Same registration point, but now it's health meter. And then we got to make sure it says health meter right here too. Alright, so now we have inside our info panel, we have the health bar, and inside the health bar we have the health meter. So now that that's done, we can actually create something that might cause damage to the player. So I'm going to zoom in, and where we need to put this is inside the levels symbol. So I'm going to grab these coins and cut them and make another layer, call it coins. And while I'm on that layer, I'm going to hit Control Shift V to paste those right there. And then this will be the walls. So the coins, I'm going to try to remember to always put coins on the coins layer and not on the walls layer, just to keep everything organized. That way if you ever want to like delete the coins, you can just click on that layer and you've got them all, and they're not all mixed up. So with that, I want to make another layer called bombs, and I'm going to make a bomb on this layer. So over here I'll make a little circle, and let's make it a different color, military green or something. And let's convert it to a symbol. Let's just right click on it or hit F8, and let's put the registration point in the middle, bomb, and we'll go inside here and hit insert layer, F6, or insert blank keyframe, insert blank keyframe. You can hit insert frame. Third frame, we want to have it say go to and play to. And then in the first frame, we're actually going to define some time. We say timer equals 100. And then in the second frame, we want to say timer minus equals, whoops, minus equals 1. And then, so it's going to start out timer equals 100, but then this line says take away 1, and we'll say if timer is ever less than or equal to 0, then go to escape GP, go to and play 4. And on the 4th frame, we'll make a little, see, convert to keyframe. We're going to make a tween out of this. So while that is still selected, go down to shape, and then go out here and make another keyframe, and we're going to make it Control Alt S. We'll make it 300 times bigger, or maybe even, yeah, let's do 300 times. Well, that's not nearly enough. Control Alt S 500 times. Maybe even do it again. Oh, no, that's too much. Maybe 200 times bigger. So a certain size. Significant. And we also want to make it invisible. So 0. Notice when you click off, it looks like it's gone, but when you click on it, it comes back. And then this, we want it to make it, I don't know, 50% transparent or something like that. And maybe make this line bigger. So let's see what that looks like. Boom, that'll be the explosion. And then right here we want to make a keyframe and say stop. Or no, not stop. We actually want it to loop back around. So never mind that. Let's take that back away. Remove frame. Alright, so it should blow up every often. Boom. Looks like our scoreboard, our info panel is going off the screen, which I should have realized. So let's go back out here, grab this. Make sure you grab it when you're out in scene 1, so you can just drag the whole container. You wouldn't want to drag the individual parts over. So now, back to what we were doing. The bomb explodes every now and then. And let's do the next step. It's kind of a lot we're doing in this video. This will be awesome when it works, though. So inside player 1, we're going to want to say, down past all this stuff, let's make some more slashes to separate our code into blocks. And right here we want to say something like, if, well, let's do escape if underscore parent dot levels dot, okay, I just realized something about the way I've designed this, that yeah, I didn't make this part of my plan, but I just realized as I try to do this step, I'm going to want you to do it this way. So I'm going to put bad. So inside the levels, we're going to make a symbol called bad. That way, if it does a hit test with anything inside there, it will, oh yeah, we got to finish this. This dot underscore x comma this dot underscore y comma true. So anything inside there, it will go to the underscore parent health bar dot health meter, and then what about that health meter? The width will subtract 1. So now we've got a little bit of work to do. We got to go create a bad symbol, which won't take that much time. Let's go out here into scene 1 and then into levels, and we need to put this inside a bad's symbol. So this will be a little tricky. Let's go ahead and make a bad's layer, and I'm going to click on this. Notice that's the walls, and I'm going to hit Control C, and we go over here and hit Control Shift V. So I'm basically going to borrow the outline of this just because it will make things easier. Things will line up better. So right now I basically copied the walls onto the bads layer, but I don't want this to actually be the same. I just want the outline. So I'm going to right click on this and duplicate it, and we're going to call this bads. I know that sounds funny grammatically, but they are the bad stuff. So anyways, now if I double click on it, you'll see we're inside the bads layer, not inside the walls, but this is still full of walls because we made a copy of it. So what I want to do is actually hit delete, just delete out all this stuff. All I really want is the outline, and I have a good reason for it. It might be kind of hard to explain, but it will just, by giving it an outline, it'll be easy. If anything ever happens, we'll be able to line it back up. If we don't do it this way, if we don't give it an outline that's you know, congruent with the other symbols, if things ever get out of alignment, we won't be able to fix it very easily. So let's zoom out. Oops. Now let's select all this interior stuff and delete it. So now our bads has an outline. Now I want to go get that bomb and put it right where it is. So let me hit Control X, and now let me make sure I have the bads symbol. Let me unhide just that, and we'll go inside there and I'll paste it. And in fact, I think I'll select this whole thing except for the coin or the bomb, and I want to change the outline. Looks like somehow I lost my tools, so I'm going to click on this, bring it back, and I want to give it a different color. So red is kind of, you know, it goes with bad, I think, for me anyways. So that'll be the bomb, and then I'm going to make another one, make a couple of them, and let's see if it works now, because our code says if anytime we hit, oh, there's one more thing, I don't want that red line to dominate. So what I want to do is select the whole thing by double clicking, hit Control X, make a new layer. This will be outline. We're going to paste it by going Control Shift V, that way it pastes in exactly the same place, and I'm going to hit guide. That basically will tell it to hide itself from the actual game. It'll be there when we edit stuff, but it won't be part of the game. So now if I go over here, that doesn't seem to be working. Oh, I didn't give the bads a name, so we got to go back out to levels and make sure, let's unhide. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see because I called that a guide. Maybe I'll unguide it, because I do want to see that. I'll just put the walls above everything. That way the black outline shows instead of the red. Alright, so back to what we were doing. Let me hide everything except for the bads symbol, and I gotta give it, yeah, that's right, we made a copy of the walls when we did that, so it still says walls. Now it says bads. So let's try it. If I get hit by a bomb, it should injure me. Looks like it's not working. So why is that? Let's see. I'm inside here. It says underscore parent. Let's see if we have this path right by copying it, and let's go to the first frame. And let's just paste this, and we'll set the width to 10 or something. So looks like it's not targeting it right. That's important. We're basically saying set the width to 10, underscore parent, health bar. Oh, it's inside the info. Info. Yeah, let's try that. Alright, now we've got control of it, so we just got to make sure. Let's cut that out and go over here and put info. Info, health bar. Alright, so now that was a good lesson in troubleshooting, which is something that's happens a lot. So now that we know to put it inside info, what else do we need here? Minus equals 1. Parent levels bad. Oh, I didn't put an S. Bads. One letter out of place and the whole thing stops working. Alright, so now it's injuring the player. Well done. If you've followed along, we've done quite a few steps. So now the next thing will be, if the health meter reaches 0, then you gotta, you know, expire, die. We'll get to that in the next video. Might also want to make this health meter smaller. Alright, we'll get to that in the next video or one down the road.